welcome to the DL Podcast. I'm Bobby.
I'm Nick.
I'm Amanda.
I recently had to run out of something to go pee, and it reminded me of the podcast. I was watching Avatar, and it was like the main battle at the end, and I could not hold it anymore. And the worst thing about missing that part of part of the movie, was that I had to like ruin it for like 10 people while I get my fat ass out. We were right in the middle. I was like, Sam, I gotta pee so bad. She looks left, she looks right. She's like, you're equally fucked both ways, because it's like 25 people both ways.
You're such an asshole, dude.
Why didn't you get like an aisle seat or something, dude? Like if you know that you've got a leaky bladder, why don't you get an aisle
A leaky
seat?
bladder.
God, it was like a gorilla
Man's
in the
gotta
mist,
pee.
dude, fucking getting past these people. Excuse me, pardon me, sorry. Choo, choo, boom, bombs, all this stuff. Yeah, it's the worst, man. And then you have to realize, like, you have to make a decision when you're leaving. Are you going to give them the dick or the balls or the ass, right? Like, they're going to look face first at either your dick or your ass. You got to make a decision. So I gave him the dick one on the way out and the ass on the way in.
How do you do that as a human being, dude? You're ruining these people's movie, and you're fucking looking at them in the eye.
I know.
Because your tall ass is not only ruining it for them, it's ruining it for the people fucking above as well.
I'm not
So
not
you
defending
chose
myself.
balls.
Balls on the way out and ass on the way in. Yeah.
Oh, you did a little bit of both.
Little bit of
Nice.
both,
Wanted
yeah.
to hit all your bases. Got it.
If you're gonna get some gorilla in the mist, you want to get fucking the full package. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Anyway, this is a
Speaking
video
of
game.
fucking full packages, we got not only movies on this podcast, but we got video games as well.
Yeah, and cat cast at the very end.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about Catcast.
Meow meow.
All right. Well, we might have what do we say? A new sponsor, perhaps. We got some product sent to us
Possibly,
that
but
we're going to check out.
We don't like to pander off stuff that we isn't quality items. So Emilio is the guinea pig this time. Me and Samantha are both going through the trial process and seeing if this stuff is good. It's called Magic Mind. It is a mix of various chemicals and mushrooms and stuff like that. And their angle is that it increases the bioavailability of caffeine. So you drink it. It's a little tiny vial that you drink alongside your coffee, and it's supposed to be able to get you into flow state easier and less jitters. And instead of having multiple cups of coffee, this combination should carry you throughout the day. So that's their angle. I am trying it out. So we'll get back to you. Maybe I'll give you an update in a week, and then we'll be done with the trial in a week and a half. And if it's good, I'm going to try to sell you some for these people. If it's not good, then I'll be like, down with these charlatans or something like that.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
more to come. We'll see how that goes.
I think charlatan isn't used enough, you know? Anyway,
It's not the 1700s anymore.
It's true. I don't think anybody's selling snake oil as much.
as much.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I was going to say one of the things that we can sell you a little bit on is things that are on our radar, which are games that have come to our attention. And I don't know, a blast from the past is VHSs. You guys remember that? Does anybody remember rewinding back VHS and everything? Bobby has put on his radar the Backrooms VHS. Can you tell me a bit about that?
So this is a game that's coming out Q4 of next year, I think. So it's a ways off. No, Q4 of 2022. So it's coming out any day now. It's called Backrooms VHS. And when I read the description, I thought, well, this kind of sounds stupid. It's based off a creepypasta. They're like urban legends on the internet, basically, about these, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain.
It's like a never-ending labyrinth of back rooms, right?
Yeah. Of
Yeah,
rooms
you
with
clip through
fluorescent
the world.
lights. Yeah. Okay, so you guys are familiar with what it is. It started in, I don't know, 4chan or something when someone said, like, post disturbing or unsettling images. And someone posted a picture of just like this empty room with these yellowish walls and ugly fluorescent lights. So, and it memed out of control from there. And this game is based off of that. And I guess there's some YouTube videos too. I checked out some of the YouTube videos. It was actually pretty well done. And when I watched the trailer for this game, that's what sold me. It was a found footage video game, which I've never really seen. You know, we've seen found footage films ever since the Blair Witch made them really popular. We've seen a ton of those. And, you know, as hack as those are, I actually really enjoy them. I watch like all of them. And I do actually find them kind of scary. So when I saw this trailer, I thought, first of all, that actually looks really good. It looks like a VHS tape from the 90s. When they showed the water, then I was like, okay, I can tell this is a video game. But other than that, they had like the camera shake, which is so stupid in those found footage films. The South Park parodied this, I can't remember when, but with a couple episodes. And Randy was filming a found footage film, and it'd show his point of view, and it's all like shaky cam. And then it cut to a shot of him actually filming, and he was just awkwardly like moving the camera all around his face, like nobody would do that. And it's so true. When I watch a lot of these found footage films, I'm like, nobody would.
Well, if you're running from a monster, dude.
But there's also a lot of times where it's just like nobody would be filming this. It's so obviously forced. I really noticed it when I was watching the Paranormal Activity movies last Halloween. I started watching a couple of those, and I was just like, nobody would just have a camera rolling at this point in time. This is so stupid. And then I like stood up in the theater and yelled at the screen when I saw the one with the marked ones. It was the Hispanic one. You know, they're going for the Mexican demographic horror movies because that was real big around 2014. But they're literally breaking into a house and like rolling film on that. And I'm like, you're just giving them the evidence, dude. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
There's a lot of that, dude. There's a lot of like teenagers that videoed themselves fucking doing
This is
crimes.
before TikTok and all that. So this was 2014, but still, like, I don't know.
You stood up in a movie theater and you yelled
Dude,
at the screen?
We can't get to him to talk on a podcast, and he's just giving it away for free in the movie theaters, man.
Oh, man.
And you're yelling
I got
that a
all sorts of
movie
theater
isn't real
stories.
life enough?
Come
Hollywood
on.
isn't real life?
Oh, God. I almost walked out of that movie.
No.
I've almost walked out of so many movies, but I never do. I've never walked out of a movie, no matter how bad it gets and how angry
I can
they
just
make me.
imagine you just so conflicted sitting in your seat like, this is trash, I need to leave, but
Yeah.
you don't. You're like, I'm not going to shove my balls in front of somebody's face to get out.
The theater was
Or
not
Bud.
sold out. There was plenty of room there.
I've
But it
got
was-
a couple things on this. One, there's a lot of backrooms games, but none of them are found footage, so that's pretty cool. Two, Bobby, have you seen the Bigfoot found footage movie? The one,
Yeah, by Bobcat
yeah, Bob
Goldthwait.
Hook, yeah,
Yeah,
it wasn't bad.
yeah, I like that one.
And then thirdly, I'll get to this later, but JP and I we wanted to play some VR together. So we found the Backrooms VR game, and we're looking at it, and it looks good, and it's like overwhelmingly positive. And then we're like, there's no way we're playing this, right? He's like, no, there's no way. Like,
That's what I was waiting for.
it looks so scary that we're not going to, just nope. Nope.
Well, this game is co-op, up to 4 players, it says. And there's also some puzzles in it, as well as it being kind of like an adventure game. From the description, it sounded a little bit like Stanley Parable, where you had to find the linear narrative. Well, in Stanley Parable, you kind of create your own, and there's like 1,000 different endings or whatever. But in this one, in order to get out or succeed, you have to follow the right path and make the right choices. So I don't know. It could be interesting. It seems really the look of it caught me, but I guess we'll have to wait and see if this is any good. I was completely unaware of this creepypasta before, so this is all brand new to me.
I feel like if we were playing co-op, everybody would be looking for the exit, and I'd be looking for the bathroom in the back rooms. I gotta piss so bad. Oh, this yellow.
I do want to mention before we continue, by the way, that on the stream it's days twice. There is no me. So
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're feeling discriminated against?
Well,
very.
we know who's twice as important now, don't we?
That's so funny.
You're damn right.
Speaking of twos, let's talk about Legend of Vox Machina season 2, son.
Yeah, first season was
Shit,
incredible.
that was great.
So for those who don't know, this is gaming related because it's related to D&D. Um, it is the trailer for this just came out about 3 days ago. It's showing off the new campaign. For those who don't know, the show is based off of a live stream D&D game. It's the most popular, named Critical Role. They decided to convince Amazon to animate their first campaign, I believe, and it's pretty fucking funny. It's not like your normal humdrum like fantasy TV show. There's a lot more explicit shit in it.
Yeah.
I mean, most of these people, all the people that are on the Critical Role show are voice actors, and a lot of them are pretty funny. So they voice their own characters in the show. It's called The Legend of Vox Machina. The second season's out. You can actually watch the first season right now on Prime.
I
But yeah,
highly
I just wanted to
recommend.
point it out that the trailer's out.
I highly recommend that you go watch it. It's very, very good. You know what I always think about this, Nick? They're literally all professional voice actors, every single one of them. So they must have they must have fucking walked in on Monday and they were done by like 6 p.m. with the entire season. You know what I mean?
Oh,
They're
yeah.
just like, it's already their fucking first skill. Yeah, a cartoon, yeah, no problem. We'll just bang it out.
Do it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would definitely give it a watch if you just like fantasy shit in general. Don't watch it with your kids. There's people like getting dissolved and nudity and shit, but it's great. Take a watch.
Uh, there's this scene where they're all talking about like their favorite kill that they ever did, or like an outstanding kill that they've done in their adventures. And Keyleth, who's like the most like innocent one, used like a wind spell on this fucking orc just to get her away from him, but he fell in lava, and he was he's dying in the lava and he's screaming and she's like shh, like shh, and he's like fuck I can't save you, and he slowly dies in the lava, and the rest of them are sitting around, they're like, that's really dark. Like they were all laughing and having a good time about these things that they had killed in the past, and she's the one who anyway, you got to watch it. It's
Brings
great.
it down.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Amanda, you got all kinds of stuff.
I was gonna say, well, if that's like thinking about that, if that stresses you out, boy, oh boy, do I got a relaxing game for you. It's called Tiny Glade. It's
Aw.
a beautiful little small relaxing game all about doodling castles. And so, it's gridless, which I think is kind of nice. I don't know. I'm a big sucker for these kind of like building games. I'm definitely the kind of person that puts 800 hours into Ark, and like 700 of those hours is making the prettiest castle. So this kind of game totally speaks to me because there's no management, combat, or anything. You're just turning meadows into beautiful little castles. And so if you wanted something relaxing and chill, then that's good. It doesn't have a release date just yet. It was developed by Pounce Light, who it seems to be their only game that they've made. And yeah, so I mean, we can probably expect it. It just says coming soon, but it does look cute and it looks nice. So I put it on my wish list, and it's just, yeah, it's a sandbox.
Didn't we have last episode a husband and wife duo making a game? This is the same thing. They're like kind of bigger on Twitter. I see their posts all the time because their game is so like aesthetic. But yeah, this is another couple team knocking out like a tiny fun game. Kind of cool.
Very
Nice.
cool. I like it.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
good.
But if you want something darker, we have Dark and Darker. Or no, wait, yeah, Dark and Darker. It's a 4-player co-op, kind of like your traditional fantasy, rogue, warrior type stuff. But it's in. Usually, when you play games like this, it'll be like in Diablo isometric setting, or maybe a grid or something. But this is all first person, which is rare. It almost gets me a sense of like Vermintide or something, but it's not that kind of game. It doesn't seem like it's a get
It's
from
not
point.
fast at all.
Yeah, it's not a get from point A to point B and swarms of enemies. It seems like you're actually going on an adventure and going down into some dungeons and having a
And
good old adventure.
This is a Tarkov game, right?
No. Oh, is it? Oh, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I was going to say
so
that.
it's a play for keeps game. There's
yeah.
multiple teams of 3. Sometimes there's like solos and duos as well. But you're trying to go deeper into the actual dungeon, and the deeper you go, the better the loot. The NPCs get way harder the deeper you go. The dev for this game actually does like free weekends every 2 weeks or something like that. And so it's not even released. It's in closed alpha, I think. And like I said, free weekends happen all the time. You don't have to pre-order or anything. It's a great game.
What's
It's
the Tom Clancy game that came out? And there's a part 2 of it now, I think, or maybe not. Though it's like this, though. It's a play for keeps, but it's multiplayer, co-op.
You mean Modern Warfare?
No, Tom Clancy. The Division.
Oh, the Division.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what like this. So you go and you PvP, but then there's a chance for PvE as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's interesting. There's classes and there's actually like special abilities and shit. And the rogue gets to go like completely invisible, not like like Halo whooshy kind of invisible. And it's a lot of fun. I've watched a lot of people play it, and I've had my eye on it for a while. But I think the next time it does go on free weekend, I will play it. So,
All right, cool.
Very cool. Something that's free and on my radar is Nountown VR language learning. I'm a huge sucker for games that have a really awesome utility to them, and I think that this is definitely one of them because it's for VR. It's got positive reviews. It came out December 15th, and like I said, it's free. Well, the demo is free. Otherwise, it's $15. But I plan on checking this out because it looks awesome. You would like go to a market or you're walking through this entire town, learning a new language through everything. So they might say something like cut the fruit in Spanish, and you have to repeat it back and then cut the fruit in order to achieve that and move forward. And so you have to pick up and like also, translate what each thing is to the game, which I think is just like such a great way to learn too. And I think that this is a lot better even than the previous VR like language learning game that I had, which I think was Language Lab is what like I was talking about before. But this looks like it's so much better because it's all kinds of things like clean the cow and like they're showing all kinds of stuff of these different rooms. You could be in a diner. It's a whole town, a whole city that you're interacting with in that other language, which if you're not going to get real life immersion, this is probably the next absolute best thing that you could get. And so this is on MetaQuest and Steam. And it looks awesome. So I am absolutely downloading the demo and going to be checking this out.
Very cool. I like it.
Yeah, I know some people that had some input in this game based on like language learning stuff. So it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Bobby, any interest in going to French Town?
Noun Town, which apparently allows verbs as well and adjectives and adverbs.
It doesn't rhyme, but with town though, Bobby.
And how much you love realism, it does blow my mind. You don't want Tarkov, dude.
Well, it reminds me a lot of Influent. Like I played a lot of Influent, which is another language learning game, but you only walk around a house, and there's really not too much to do. You learn a lot of vocabulary, and they do teach you a few verbs that go along with it and adjectives, but it's I don't know. It's all right for what it is, but this looks like you can explore a lot more of a world, and it's only in VR, which is unfortunate, but
not for us.
I think that's better.
Just
I
for
think
you,
that's better
bro.
for learning. It's better immersion.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
You
I
just
guess.
don't want VR. That's all.
I don't know. I don't mind it. Like I got to pull out the Quest, plug it in, do the whole thing, get it to work. Like it's a whole thing whenever I do anything with VR.
Yeah,
That's
But
true, but
I
I
get
would
it.
argue that when it comes to learning a new language, it would be similar to like sitting in an office, having your little space and getting ready to sit down and focus. So I would argue that actually setting up for VR would be a good thing to help you get into the mindset that like you're going to learn if that was your goal was to do the language learning one.
take that, Bobby.
That's what I
Yeah, but I know what you're talking about. Are you talking about the whole fucking getting the Quest to work on the fucking Steam? It's always a nightmare for me.
Yeah, well, I haven't done it in a while, so I know they made the switch where you have to have a Facebook account and all that, so I probably have to do that as well. Yeah,
If you want to borrow the index, man, you can.
to play Noun Town.
Or Half-Life Alyx or whatever.
French Town. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
The only other one that I put on here is it's a totally different game. It's called Anglerfish, And essentially, it is a platformer and like an action adventure kind of game that they call like a type of horror because it's super gory. And essentially, something that like really stood out to this game for me is that it has this like Souls like element where like you're definitely going to die a lot. But what's fascinating is every time you die, the way that you died and where you died changes the game. Something changes based on that. And so, say you're doing like a puzzle because there's multiple puzzles in this game, and if you die in the puzzle, then it will change the solution to that puzzle when you go back. Because every time you die, that's when your checkpoint is, right? And so, if you were to try and do the puzzle and you thought you figured it out, and then you died and tried to do the solution, it wouldn't work because they changed that. So like every time, like I said, every time you die, something in the game changes. It might be the enemies, it might be the puzzle, it might be what goes on. And so you're just going around killing these like creepy looking, they look like Slender Man almost to me, like these creepy dudes with like a shotgun. And you're just trying to, survive a night at the bar and like explore through these crazy like rooms and stuff. It's 20% off right now until December 26th. So it's $8. And it looks like such a fascinating game that would be pretty fun.
It seems so strange.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
definitely
strange.
an odd one, man. The character design and the artwork is pretty interesting.
Are you gonna pick it up, Dave?
I think so. Yeah, because it seems like really odd, and the reviews are pretty good on it. A lot of people really like it. They say it's super unique, and it's hilarious, especially for how cheap it is. The reviews, like I said, look really good. I think it's just such a fascinating concept as well, and it looks like a really unique game, and it looks like the kind of horror game that even pussies like Emilio and I can handle. So I think that this is probably going to be a go for me because I don't know. I'm really curious to see how it changes every time you die. I think that would be really fun.
Your own character is the most disturbing thing in the whole thing, anyway.
I
so-
agree. I don't know if he's wearing a kilt. It almost
Yeah.
looks like he's wearing like a Sailor Moon outfit with like a
I'm pretty
teddy
sure it's
bear creepy mask.
I'm pretty sure it's an anime schoolgirl outfit with a bunny
Hmm.
mask. Yeah.
Anime schoolgirl outfit with a bunny mask. I think so too. Yeah, I think you're right.
He
Yeah, it's
looks
definitely,
hilarious.
definitely an odd one.
He looks like what's the name in Tropic Thunder when he puts on the dead panda hat?
Ben Stiller.
Yeah, Ben Stiller,
Tug Speedman.
Yeah.
Tug Speedman. Yeah,
I killed the thing I love most in the world. A hooker? No. A panda.
there it is.
All right.
There we
Speaking
go.
of that was on the radar, everybody. Let's get to games that we did play this week. Would I see multiple people played High on Life?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm so glad that somebody spent, or maybe I don't know. How you guys
Same.
forgot it.
I
Six-
wanted to play
was
it.
like
I just got to
$60
hear about it
bucks?
before
Oh, it's
I
on
do.
Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass.
It's on Game
Yeah.
Pass?
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Yeah, I was in
Shit.
Game Pass. And I was like, I realized it was just there, and I didn't realize it had come out or that it was on Game Pass. So of course I
Shit.
installed it. It's like 50 gigs, but yeah, I went ahead and installed that, and I was really surprised at how poorly my computer handled this game. So they start you out in this really funny way. Of course, the humor in this game is just off the charts. They start you out where you're playing this old school computer game, like Duke Nukem type game called Buck Thunder 2. And of course, Justin Roiland's narrating it, and you're doing the stupid tutorial where they teach you to jump and crouch like they do in every game. But of course, they're making fun of that. They even play a little trick on you where he says, "Okay, now you're gonna do a double jump here," and then you go to do a double jump and it doesn't work, and he's like, "Oh, I guess you don't have a double jump. I guess you just have to crouch underneath." I was like, "Okay, that's pretty funny," but my computer was really chugging at that point, and I was like, "Dude, this is like really bad graphics. I don't understand why it's like intentionally bad graphics at this point in the game. I don't know why my computer's having a tough time." So I turned all my settings down and it was better. And then that's like the intro, and then it zooms out and you realize the character that you actually play was playing that video game. So it zooms out from a computer screen, and like you're this girl in her room playing computer games. Her sister's knocking at the door, and then an alien cartel shows up. So those are the villains in the game, the G3, the alien cartel. Then they're going to abduct all the humans and turn them into drugs and sell them. And you go on a mission to bounty hunt them and kill them. So I could definitely tell that this game's intended for VR. It would be a lot more enjoyable, I think, in VR. The shooting and the action stuff is a little mundane, but you know what first person shooter isn't these days?
Are you sure there's a VR game?
I don't think it
you're
is.
conflating it with Trover Saves the Universe.
Well, all his games have been VR. I just assumed this one was.
I don't think so.
No, it's not.
Oh, that's weird.
It is not VR.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Huh.
It is Steam Deck compatible, though.
Oh, but no
which is
VR.
interesting.
That's so strange because it feels like a lot of stuff in this game would really benefit from VR, like the way that some of the weapons work and the puzzles work and these little characters that fly around and you've got this HUD that comes up.
Justin, I hope you're listening.
Yeah, but that's okay. I mean, I don't mind it not being available in VR because you know how I feel about that. But the main protagonist does not talk, but your guns talk. That's the first thing we all kind of learned about this game, I think, was that the guns talk. And they talk a lot too. Like they whenever you interact with another character, the gun does the talking, and then also just when you're killing stuff, the gun talks, and it's of course really funny and really well written. It's pretty good.
Well, and it's cool because part of it is that your like main gun that sounds like Morty is trying to save all the other ones because the guns are actually an alien species that have been taken by the cartel as well. And so you're trying to save the different Gatlians, I think is what they're called.
It's already hilarious. They're called Gatling.
Yeah, they're called Gatlians, and you have to save the various ones, and they're so funny. Bobby, I don't know how far did you get? Like, how many like bounties did you complete?
I'm on the third one.
Oh, nice. Okay, I just beat the third one, so we're pretty
Okay.
close then.
Well, they
with
give
that.
you beat the first one, and then you can pick one of the next two. But I started with Kubris and did that one, and now I'm on whatever that other guy is.
What's the time to
Oh,
beat
I
on
think you're
this?
gonna like that other guy a lot more. The time to beat is about 8 hours, maybe 10. I think I saw somewhere the completionist would take like 15 hours, so it's a short game.
That's not bad at all.
This is why
I
I think
don't
I'm
know.
surprised.
How much is it?
Oh, it's like $60 on Steam. Definitely play it on Game Pass. I don't know if I would pay $60 for it, but Game Pass, it's in my opinion, is one of the best Game Pass games that's out there for sure. Because this is hilarious. I love the fourth wall breaking. That's always I'm such a sucker for that. I think that's hilarious. Like I remember the double jump thing. I was laughing so much because he was just like, "Oh yeah, we didn't put a double jump in this game." Like so, I just thought it was so funny with a lot of the moments that they had too. And yeah, with the talking to the guns, like you were saying, I love that little addition because each gun has such a personality and does different things. Like with the knife, I cracked up with it, but I would argue that I'm really happy that it's not in VR because I've had already quite a few moments where I'm just running around stabbing people, and it's so chaotic that if I were to do that in VR, I'd throw up easily.
Would you guys be able to explain? It seems like this game is really contentious. I mean, just from the critics, anyways. Like IGN gave it an 8 out of 10, but PC Gamer gave it a 40 out of 100. Is there anything that like is going to alienate some people playing it, or?
Well, like I was saying
Probably
earlier,
jokes.
the first person shooter aspect is pretty standard. Like you go on a bounty mission, you portal into a new world. It looks kind of cool, and then you travel along a little while. Maybe you talk with somebody, but eventually you just reach these points where just a bunch of aliens come out, and it's just point and click. You know, shoot them, kill them all, and then move on to the next one, and then the same thing happens again.
I guess you're here for the jokes and the atmosphere, really.
Yeah. Like if you
You
were to
are.
take away the writing, which is done so well, then this game would be really boring. Like it suffers a little bit on the game side of it, but it's so funny that it kind of makes up for it. And I'm a pretty hard sale when it comes to comedy and video games.
I was just gonna say, dude, can you record yourself playing this? Because I forgot what it sounds
Yeah.
like when you laugh.
I mean, like Borderlands, like, okay, whatever, you know, I get it. But I don't know. I really do like Rick and Morty, and especially lately, they've been really meta and like talking about meta and fourth wall breaking and all of that. And this game does a lot of that too. And they make fun of a lot of the things that really annoy me about video games too. You know, like the whole tutorial thing. With the crouching and the jumping and stuff. And at the beginning too, like the first thing he says is like, it's like, all right, we got to do the tutorial, or no, he says like, okay, it's the tutorial, but you know this, it's the second game, right? Because it's Buck Thunder 2. So like they're constantly making fun of, it's the sequel. But they're constantly making fun of like all the stupid things about video games. The things that the enemies say sometimes too. The enemies feel very generic, like they just kind of throw a bunch of them at you and you slice them up. But sometimes the things they say are really funny. Like one of them just offhandedly said, like, I feel like we're like the little minion guys that they throw out at the beginning for target practice. So like you figure out how to play the game. It's just, it really is pretty funny. And it kind of helps with the guns talking. Like it kind of solves a problem in that video games have sometimes too. Like with the whole, oh God, I lost what my train of thought on that one.
That the talking guns solve a problem of the whole. I don't know where you were gonna go.
Yeah, I don't know where I was going.
Maybe walking around not doing it, like fucking back and forth doing quests, and you just walk for fucking.
No,
forever,
there's something
happens.
specific that happened, and then the gun said something, and I'm like, oh, that's a really clever way of dealing with that.
Oh.
Like something about video games that's always one of those inconsistencies, but you kind of overlook it because it's a video game, and then. But in this, because the gun talks, it actually makes sense.
Like maybe the little notes that are always laid around, the fucking tape recorders.
No, God, it'll come to
Well,
me later.
so something that like I played that I was gonna mention about, like kind of, I wonder if it's the one that you're talking about, because there's a moment where you go into the slums and there's like a child who's just calling you fresh meat and being a total little shithead.
Oh, this is
And
it. Yes,
I
this is
tried to shoot him, and the
Yeah.
gun was like, "No, you can't shoot kids. Like
yeah, the
they
gun was
don't
like,
let
I'm
that
not
in
shooting
video
kids.
games. You're not
Yeah.
able to shoot
Yeah.
children." Well, guess what? Then you are. Did you see the achievement that you get when you kill the child?
No, I didn't see that. I
It
tried to shoot the
says
kid too.
the achievement you get says Fallout doesn't let you do this.
Oh wow!
Oh, genius!
That
Like, it's
is
so funny.
That is
hilarious.
exactly the point that I had.
Good
forgotten.
job, Dave.
Because
Nice.
Yeah.
there's the part with the kid, but also, just right when you get into the main town, like the hub area, I'm walking around and I always, in any video game, I'm going to try to shoot the friendly NPCs just to see if the game lets me do it. And right away, the gun's just like, yeah, I'm not going to murder innocent civilians,
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh God, that's actually like super clever because some games do like the whole point the gun down thing whenever you
Yeah,
aim
yeah.
at a friendly NPC. Some of them will like let you shoot them, but then they don't die, or maybe they have like a bark where they're just like, hey, stop that, or
Yeah,
something
right,
like that. Like all games have a way of doing it, but this like totally solves the problem in a very creative way. So
Cool. I
I
like
agree.
it.
I love
Yeah,
this.
I'm
I'm gonna be
movie. Highly
playing this
recommend.
week.
yeah,
Yeah, I had
it's
no-
worth it, man.
This is why, dude. Because I saw, High Life is out. Let me go check Game Pass, and I didn't see it. So
Dude, it
I
was
don't know.
front page for me.
I don't know
was
if it
right
fucking.
there.
Maybe it took a day. I don't know.
It's
Fuck,
like
I don't know.
50 gigs. It's a pretty big game. And
Yeah, I think it took a day to get on there.
Maybe that's what it
well,
was.
it said December 13th was the release date, so
I don't know.
it's been out for a little while.
Speaking of a game that we've all played and all want to play still, Dark Tide.
Dude,
I heard Bobby played with Emilio till 2 a.m, which is unheard of.
I couldn't
Is-
believe it seemed like we were fucking, I don't know, in our 20s again. Fucking Bobby and I stayed up till like 1:30 a.m. on a Thursday playing video games. I can't. It's never happened before. That's how rare that is. It's never happened
Or
before.
maybe like since the Smite days.
It's just the Smite days. Yeah, yeah. So, and then it got even worse. I was like, Bobby's like, what time is it? I don't want to look. And I said, it's almost 1. That was right before our last run. And he goes, fuck it. I was like, whoa, who is this guy? I like edgy
Gosh,
Bobby.
The Christmas
I'm always
spirit
down
is
for the
in
one,
Bobby,
though.
man.
No, I started playing the Ogren, and I really liked that character a lot better than the other classes. I really enjoyed playing that character.
You know what
Oh, go ahead.
You know what I did just because you said you love the Ogren so much? I was like, I'm gonna make a veteran sharpshooter because Diddy is a psyker and Emilio's an acolyte, and then Days is also a veteran sharpshooter, and they're the best class to have multiples of. Dude, it is a different fucking game when you switch classes, like a completely different game.
Yeah.
It is. I was so used to being the Ogren and getting hit by like the exploding guys and taking maybe a bar of damage, like of corruption damage. I got hit by like the fucking edge fart of one of those explosion guys as a veteran, and I lost 2 bars of health, dude. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had to.
It's intense.
I switched to a veteran with Bobby because I wanted to start at level 1 with him, and I kept getting myself in trouble because I'm like, as the zealot, you have to be up in the fray constantly.
Exactly.
That's how you stay alive, is by fighting. And this guy's a little weak piece of shit. And I also had to get real fucking shady about my ammo use. I was grabbing all the ammo.
Well, what they don't tell you about the veteran is that each shot takes 3 damage. I mean, 3 bullets.
Oh, you also get to hold more ammo too. But yeah, he's a bullet
Yes.
hog, or she. Anyway,
Yeah.
So you do
ask
play
him-
completely different.
Yeah, totally. I was gonna ask Bobby, what did you think of the Ogren as a fellow Ogren player? Mine's level 10, so
Okay. Well, I leveled up pretty quick. He's level 4, almost 5, I think. But yeah, I don't know. He reminds me more of the dwarf in Vermintide, so I think that's why I like him. He's just like the big melee class. I like his special ability. I think he's probably the easiest class to play, honestly, and that's maybe why I like him. But I'm just having a lot of trouble understanding a lot of the intricacies of the weapons. So, he's got a club or a knife, but the club has like this finesse stat. I have no idea what that means. So I got to look all that stuff up, figure out what it means, and then find out what path I kind of want to go down, because at this point I'm just buying whatever weapon has the highest eye level,
Point
or whatever
value.
they call it. I don't know.
you'll start to learn like around like level 6 when you start getting like really very like varied weapons that like depending on what mission you're doing, you're gonna need to choose a certain weapon, and even then that might not be the correct weapon. Like the Ripper gun, which is like I think you get at level 6, is like a fully automatic shotgun, right? And your normal shotgun when you fight bosses sucks butt. Like it takes way too long to reload and you can't really do damage.
Yeah.
But the Ripper gun, you're just hosing out damage, and the Ogren's not really the damage guy; he's the damage soaker. So
Yeah, and
it
I
becomes a
don't use
completely different game.
his guns very often. I'm
Yeah,
almost always in melee mode.
It so what did you make before you made an Ogren?
The
Zealot, right?
Yeah, the zealot I spent the most time on. My zealot's like level 3 or 4.
Did you by any chance get the melee weapon as a zealot that gets stuck in people?
No, well, doesn't he just have an ability where he throws something out and then it comes back to him?
No. So what I'm talking about is that the Ogren, every melee weapon of his will go through people, so you can hit like 10 people at once with one melee hit. There's a couple of melee weapons for a couple of the other classes that get like they can only hit one model at a time. So I was wondering by any chance if you ran into that as the zealot.
I haven't, and I'm level 10. It's funny that my favorite melee weapon so far was actually on the sharpshooter. There's a bayonet on his fucking rifle. It's awesome. I wish I could get that on my fucking zealot. It'd be great, but I think it'd be broken if he got that. So
yeah, obviously we like the game. I like the theme of the game. I mean, even like it's a great game. Play it. I didn't talk about any of the lore. That's how good it is. Check it out. It's on Game Pass. If you don't have $3 to pay for Game Pass, I'll send you $3. Okay. Check it out.
Right now is a pretty good time for Game Pass, I think, with the High on Life
It's
and
fucking
with a lot of the
juicy right
games that
now.
are out there. Dark Tide, it's nice. It's a
Uh,
juicy month for Game Pass.
also on Game Pass is Tunic. I played it because it got so many nominations. I'd been aware of it. People have been playing it, and I kind of knew what it was. It's a Legend of Zelda clone, and you can really see that it was made somebody, there's inspiration and there's like fucking full on or homage, So it's like Legend of Zelda, but it's also brought up to the current state of games. So it's got a little bit of Souls-like in it, where you have your campfire mechanic, where you save at the campfire, you can get as far as you want, but then if you die, you go back to the campfire. But if you go out and you kill a few things and you get fucked up and you go back to the campfire, all the monsters spawn again. Very Souls-like. But it is, the one thing that you hear about this game is, oh, it's fucking hard. and it's hard, but it's not Souls like hard. You start the game with a fucking stick. That's your weapon. So you got to hit things 9, 10, 11, 12 times to kill them, and it's really hard. But within the first 15, 20 minutes, you get your sword, and then maybe 20 minutes after that, you get your shield, and then you start feeling like Link, and you start going through the whole motions. First of all, it's cute as fuck. The graphics are great. It's this isometric view. It kind of reminds me a little bit of For the King. It looks a lot better than For the King, but it has that same like cartoon minimalist pastels thing going on. It's great. I mean, it looks awesome. The when you have this like cartoon pastel thing going on and nothing's really popping out, when they use particle physics very sparingly, but when they do, it's like, whoa, it looks like magic's on the screen, because everything else is this like kind of mundane
Static.
cartoon, and then after out of nowhere there's magic in there, and it really looks like magic, which is really cool. I would say another Souls like tip of the hat would be like you have to be deliberate in your hits. You can't just be fucking spamming. You have to like dodge, and it's a lot of you have a combat roll, but it's not about like dodge attack. It's more like find your range, stay outside of the range, get inside, hit them a couple times, and get out. The damage roll or the combat roll is more about like, oh, I fucked up, let me get out of here as soon as possible. So that took me a long time. It's not like Hades at all. Even though you have the exact same moves, it doesn't play like that at all. And that took me some time to get aware of that. Other than
Are you playing on controller or keyboard and mouse?
Controller. Yeah.
Okay.
I hesitated because playing with a PlayStation 5 controller on Game Pass can be a headache sometimes, but as long as you plug it in, it seems fine. Just don't play on Bluetooth. That's my workaround.
You know what's funny is that I actually ran into controller problems while playing rounds.
Oh, so did John.
Yeah. So
did you have two monitors going?
yes. So it wasn't only that because I had a friend over and we were like, oh, let's play this new game in person because I've only played against you. I played against Leslie online now, right before the podcast, and then I also played against another friend. And online, it seems to be fine. Like, there's not like latency or anything like that to really fuck you up. But what I will say is that in person, you really can't do two remotes unless they're Xbox remotes. It seems like because when we launched and we got everything to work, like the remotes were working fine before we started the game, and as soon as we stopped, as soon as we like started the game, it would change a bunch of settings for the PlayStation remote, and essentially everything would be jumbled. And as soon as you try to reassign the buttons, the game would be like, "Nah, this remote doesn't work anymore."
Nick, have you gone into big picture mode and picked
Calibrated your controls?
Yeah,
Yes.
to PlayStation 5. You did it? Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and I did it Bluetooth, and I did it corded, and it was still a little bit of a problem.
That's unfortunate. I have been playing a
But-
lot more of this. Nick and I know we jumped off of Tunic, but Nick and I played a few rounds. How much did we play, Nick?
We played at least 5 rounds, dude. We
Yeah.
played for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It's that quick. You can play like 5-minute games essentially. Me and Leslie, I think we played for 7 minutes. I didn't know this, but the cards have rarities, and there's some cards that you've never seen, and they get really busted. And if you choose a more rare card, it gives your opponent more rare cards as well.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured out the rarity thing, but so I guess
For those who don't know,
go
interject.
ahead.
For those who don't know what Rounds is, it's a Dark Souls quick time shooter game.
Not Dark Souls, roguelike.
Roguelike, sorry. Shooter game where every time you lose a game, you get to choose a power up, and it's counterintuitive to keep winning over and over and over again in some ways because your opponent might be going for a build, and if they get it, you'll lose all 5 games in a row.
Yeah.
it's really fun. There's a lot of different aspects to the game, like involving gravity as well. There's different play styles. Like there's people that like to be really close and not even shoot at all. Like that's how they win. Um, like reloading takes I think 2 seconds to do. So you shoot like your first three shots and then you have to reload. Um, it's a great game. It's fucking $3 when it's on sale, and it's pretty much always on sale.
Everybody should
Um,
pick this up. It's so good. When you're sitting around, you're like, "What should we play?" I don't know. You just load this up, and play it while you're trying to figure out what you're going to play because it is
it,
so fun.
what I will say is like it's like the game where if you only have like 15 20 minutes and you want to spend some time with somebody and just laugh super hard, this is another good game.
Yeah, and it's not like very casual. Like I feel like it's difficult, even though it's funny.
It is what you make it.
Funny, goofy things are going on, but like there's some skill involved. It's not all luck. Yeah,
I think what another thing is that because obviously what they're doing with the roguelike mechanic is that it gives everybody an equal chance to win. Um, I will say it's incredibly harder to play on remote, on the controller. I think. So,
I never tried controller, so I don't know.
yeah, so we did keyboard and mouse in one controller, and when I played controller, I was like, "This is not fun. Like this is there's no icon, and you have to look at your guy's arm, and it's zoomed out, and your guy's the size of like maybe a pea on your screen.
Yeah.
So it's pretty hard.
Just to finish up with Tunic, I strong recommendation. I think anybody should play it on Game Pass. I would even pay for this game. Um, I think I have a lot on my plate. I have a lot of unfinished games right now, so I don't whatever is pulling me towards it. That's what I'll be playing because I got back into a Plague Tale Innocence. Wait, no, it's not Innocence. It's Requiem. I'm sorry, that's a typo. Um, I told you guys that it felt exactly like the first game. And it's funny because right where I was complaining about it, got back into it and really started to enjoy it. The game made a turn. There's still a lot. It's still rats, and you're still kids and trying to survive the rats. Even though in a weird way you're the source of the rats, it's really weird. I think if it was me, I would just kill my little brother. You're fucking, you're taking out entire continents. Like it's time to the little guy goes. I'm sorry, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. There's some really cool fucking sequences. I really started to fall in love with the music. They decided to go with an all string led orchestra music. So it's violins, it's cellos, but they're not playing like really nice stuff. It's like horror strings. It's what's going on. Like wah, 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 like that kind of shit.
Like
And
gothic.
yeah, it's
Oh, that's
it's good.
cool.
They did a really good job on the music, and I think they got nominated for best music as well at the Game Awards. But yeah, I'm having a good time with this. I kind of want to finish this. Now I got High on Life on there. Tunic is a huge game. I got a lot. Half-Life Alex is always fucking whispering in my ear. Speaking of big games and things that take a long time to finish, Beanstalker is a VR. It almost seems like an MMO. It's not massively multiplayer, but you you climb up these beanstalks. That is the world. There's no like flat land. All the adventure happens on this vertical surface. They're randomly generated, and you get around them with grappling hooks. You get around them with these almost like ice climbing claws, and it feels so real because you're using your arms and you're going up, and you hear it sink into the fucking the beanstalk, and then you hear fucking like the bad guys. You can hear them skittering behind you or down or up or it's not a flat normal game. It's a 3D space game, and you're looking in all directions all the time. And it's rare. Well, I didn't play it very much, but it's rare that you're walking. Like walking is not what you do. You're either climbing, falling, or sliding down the thing. But the reason I say an MMO is because you and your merry band of fucking other people, you have a home base and you have a hearth and a fucking a wall for your trophies, and you have a little bar in there, and you have a crafting table where you physically craft your items. You know, you go out, you get the materials on your adventures, then you bring them back. So it's a very like you meet at the clubhouse, you decide where you're going to go do, and then you go do the thing. And there's like an extraction point you have to get there within a certain amount of time, and that gives you like a sense of urgency, I guess, because otherwise it would just be a romp through the woods. It doesn't look like much. The graphics are kind of shit, and I'm down for almost all of it. Like I was like, oh, this is something like we could get into, play all the time. And then John and I were sick as fuck. Like we were both nauseous as shit. And Days, I feel for you now because I know what you're talking about now, and it is not good. John seems to think it's because we haven't played VR in a while, but I've never had this issue. So I think that it's the verticality of this game and kind of like scrolling up the side of walls like Spider-Man that did it. But who knows? Either way, I returned it because I was like, I was so sick that I couldn't. Not only could I not play this game any longer, I couldn't play video games any longer, and I just sat in my chair and just fucking like drank water until I felt better again, and then I went to bed. So yeah.
Okay, well, we're gonna do a little experiment because I just bought that game, so I'm gonna play it, and I'm gonna
Comes
see
back. I
because.
got nothing.
Well, no, I mean, like, I have a theory though that anytime that like you have to do walking through climbing, because like the gorilla tag game was kind of like that too. I feel like that motion actually is more prone to making you throw up because you're not normally used to like walking with
your
your
hands.
arms,
Yeah.
right? So like I feel like it's a weird like mind trick thing, but I don't know, we'll see. I will recommend that like if you take Dramamine like 30 minutes before you play, you wear shoes and have a fan on you, that helps out a lot. But I don't know, we're curious. I like this. Let's do a little experiment. I got that game, and so I'm gonna play it and I'm gonna see.
Days, you know, I'm down with your theory, except for Gorn. But Gorn, you don't really walk that much. It's just like a few steps forward, a few steps back, right? And I never
I actually
felt
feel
that way.
pretty sick playing Gorn.
Do you?
Gorn
Okay.
works for me. Yeah, it's still same thing. If I've got to run around a little bit, then like I'll feel really nauseous.
Okay. That's Gorn, not porn, guys. Do not get your head out of the gutter. All right. And I just got back from Avatar 2. And all I got to say is I really enjoyed it. And you have to see it in IMAX 3D. There is no other. Just don't. Just don't see it or wait for video if you're not going to do it that way because it deserves it. Completely different than just like I said the last time. You see the fucking trailers of other movies, and then this comes on, and you're like, "What the fuck?" And then seeing it in Mila's from her point of view, because I'm seeing her squirm of view, and then like the jump scares are getting her, and she's crying at the sad part. Just like you're seeing the world through her. She's never seen an IMAX film, definitely not IMAX 3D, and like it was a huge thing for her. It was great for me too, but I'm just saying, like, she's never experienced anything like that before.
Who was it? One of us, or was it me that said that when they got out of this, they heard somebody tell their kid, "This is Star Wars for you guys."
I think it was us. I said that the first time we watched the first one. I think this is like Star
Yeah.
Wars for the next new generation. Part 3 is already in the can. They're just doing the post-production, and I think they're filming 4 right now.
Yeah, I heard that they wanted to have 3 lined up because they didn't want such a difference as far as the first and second one.
Yeah. Story, it's kind of like you got to do the visuals are so crazy it could carry any story. I would just go see it for the visuals, but the story is like good enough,
Good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go see it once we get a babysitter. It's gonna be in theaters for a minute, so
Yeah. Oh yeah. This will be a long one.
All right.
Cool.
All right. So just a quick reminder, everybody, we've got our Game of the Year episode coming up in a few weeks here. So you can be a part of that. If you go to our Discord, you can submit an audio clip or write something out and tell us what your favorite game was this year. And it doesn't have to be a game that came out this year. It could just be a game that you discovered this year. Go to dlgaming.net and you can get to our Discord by clicking on the link.
And time's a ticking. So everyone out there, do it now. Don't dawdle. Don't doodle. Just do it.
clicking on the link from our website, dlgaming.net.
Yep. All right. So we got some listener questions here. I think just a few. Let's take a look. Oh, yeah. All right. First one comes from Exeris. What's your favorite voice lines in Deep Rock Galactic? I really find when we get back, it's sandwich time, and God damn it, there's a pebble in my boot really speak to me. I feel like the pebble in the
That
boot.
sounds like Bobby's life.
The pebble in the boot one comes up a lot. I hear that one a lot. There are some voice lines in Deep Rock Galactic where I don't know what they're saying. I've heard them 1,000 times at least, and yet I still don't know exactly what they're saying because of their accent.
For me, I love when they're complaining about the company, because being in construction, they're talking about shit that we talk about. Like they'll complain about their equipment or whatever, and they'll be like, "That's what it's like when you work for this company," or whatever it is. I love those ones because yeah, I feel it.
My favorite's the classic Rock and Stone.
Rock
and Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because they're working, but they dig it. You know, that it's like they're kind of just made for this life, even though they complain the whole time.
Have you guys seen the comics that have been being posted on Reddit about Deep Rock Galactic?
Comments?
Comics.
Oh,
like
no.
someone made comic squares. So one of them is like the guys once they stop working for the company and they retire, right? And one of them is the guy, he's like weed whacking his lawn, and he's the gunner that holds the minigun. He starts having flashbacks while he's weed whacking the lawn, and he's like, it flashes to him at like a Sears, like trying to buy another weed whacker. He's like, "Do you guys by any chance have one with recoil?"
Days, have you played much of this? No, right?
I haven't played a ton. Like I was into it in the beginning, and the pebble in my shoe one was the one that I liked the most. But he already wrote that. But I mean, it's been a hot minute since I've played Deep Rock Galactic. I get scared because
Oh, don't play it single. If you play single player, it turns into a horror game.
Yep, absolutely,
Yeah.
sure does.
It sure does. For Carl.
There's what do they have right now? They got the holiday event going on. I got to jump back into that just to get the holiday hats this time around. But
I mean, you don't have to.
yeah, I do. Limited time.
I
hats.
legally have to.
Got to get in there. Yeah. I feel like they're still like adding lots and lots of voice lines with every update. So I feel like when they did the new map where you build the pipes, they had a couple good ones in there. Little cheesy, but there's some funny jokes like I'm Stony Hawk. And I was like, oh my god, dude, because you skate on the pipes to get around on that one. So like sometimes when you're doing that, they'll yell that out. And there's another good one in there I can't remember at the moment. But yeah, I'm actually going to be playing some Deep Rock this week. I got a feeling. Next question from Warconius. We've recently seen a lot of movies and TV shows based on game IP get made or planned. Over the past 2 years, what's the best and what's the worst? Which show or movie are you most looking forward to?
Past 2 years, man. I was gonna say Street Fighter is like the worst. Either that or Mario, but past 2 years, what video game movies? Monster Hunter was fucking god awful.
I didn't see it.
And that came out 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. That got in trouble with China, didn't it? They had to change a line in there.
They had to change a bunch of shit in there. It was made by, for those who don't know, Monster Hunter has a huge following in Asia, and the Chinese government wanted a bunch of shit changed in the movie, and I guess they didn't change one. So.
I'm actually really looking forward to this new Super Mario Bros. Movie. I'm not really big on like that animation stuff, and it's probably for kids. But I don't know. Everything I've seen about it looks pretty good.
I'm looking forward to that as well. I think it looks like at least the last clip that I saw where they showed like Mario discovering tube travel, like I thought was actually pretty funny, and so I was like, all right, this actually could be really good.
Yeah.
I don't know though. I felt like Arcane was really good. I think it
Dude,
did.
Arcane. As far as things that have come out, Arcane is probably the slapper of
I agree.
fucking of video game shows
I said
so
it-
far.
Yeah, I said it was the best, not just video game show. It was the best show last year, hands down for me.
By a landslide,
And then this
yeah.
year was Andor.
For me,
But
yeah, Andor's crazy this year, and Andor, it's you can take away Star Wars from Andor, and it'll still be a good show.
yeah, absolutely.
Um,
What else was? Oh, Henry
what are you
Cavill.
looking forward to?
Henry Cavill
Yeah.
and what? Right, he's doing the Warhammer 40K show, or he's pitching one, I guess.
No, so it's already been bought. It's in the works already. So what has happened is that apparently they're looking for a younger Superman, so they just nixed Cavill, even though he made an announcement in October about being Superman. So yeah, they axed him, and everyone knows that he's been already replaced on The Witcher by the other Hemsworth brother, not Chris, but the other one.
Liam.
And so he's like, you know what? I'm going to start my own production company with Blackjack and Warhammer. And so he pitched a show already to Amazon, and they already signed up to produce it and everything.
They have so much goddamn money.
Not only he's going to be in it apparently, but he's also the executive producer of it. As a Warhammer fan, I probably couldn't think of a better celebrity to head it. I think he's gonna like Games Workshop is going to throw everything they have into it in the sense of like we finally have an actor that everybody knows. He's probably going to play the main character, which is most likely going to be Eisenhorn, which is like a mystery show. And it's going to be really well paid for. People are already, like I said, coming up with rumors of what the show is going to be about. We don't expect it to see it until 2024, 2025. There's definitely going to be a shit ton of CG. I can't really say more about it, but I as a Warhammer fan, I couldn't think of anybody else better to do it. The guy, just to show you how nerdy this guy is, right? He almost lost the Superman role for raiding in WoW. He was on a call. He was raiding, and he was on the last boss, and it's a pretty long boss, whatever raid he was in. And he got a call to play Superman, and he ignored the call. And they almost offered it to someone else the same day. So, dude's a huge nerd.
Doesn't look like one. He took all the bad looks from like whatever all the other nerds are fucking missing in looks. One guy got all the looks.
I'm thoroughly convinced that this guy like works with the actual Chaos Gods, and he's that handsome. Like
he's too good looking to even play.
He's about to be 40.
He's too good looking to play Superman. Like you're looking at Superman, you're like, it's not the powers that are like unbelievable.
Beauty
like,
is not a power.
I get that he can fly, right? But you can't look that good. Yeah.
Clark Kent's supposed to be a fucking dweeb. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why he has glasses.
Yeah. Masks all the power and good looks.
1960s dweeb glasses. Yeah.
All right.
But sorry for that long monologue.
Last question from Morconius. Ubisoft, Microsoft, and EA have all come back to Steam after their own digital stores have been lackluster. Steam continues to rule the roost. If you had to do a SWOT analysis of Steam, what would you come up with? You can limit your answer to threat if there isn't enough time.
What does SWOT mean?
I don't know.
So SWOT
SWAT?
means strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know you like.
Well, their strengths is definitely all the bells and whistles you get with their system, right? That are already
And
built
their
in.
UI, yep.
Yeah.
I would say how fleshed out it is. Yeah.
And I love how they deal with customer service and just like general things through just systems. They have systems in place. You want to return something, no human has to come into. You just fucking click the thing, the computer does its fucking beep boop beeps, and then it goes like, here's your money. And at no point did you have to wait for somebody to go read your fucking analysis on whether or not no. If you meet the criteria, you get your refund. You know what I mean? And that's how they run their whole company. Like tons and tons of things are just happening automatically. So,
They have a huge advantage in that they've been around longer than all the other ones, a lot longer. They pretty much invented the digital marketplace for video games.
Weakness,
Which is crazy to even think about.
I'm not sure if this is a weakness, but I feel like they could benefit. Well, I guess this would be under the opportunities. The fucking whole fucking you pay a monthly fee like a streaming service. What are we
Like a
calling this?
subscription model.
Yeah, the subscription model. Thank you.
Hmm.
But
And I would agree, and I'd almost feel like that's their threat, right? Is Game Pass and the subscription model.
yeah,
Yeah, I think Microsoft really just needs to clean up the way that they pitch that. They had these commercials they were running. Oh God, I don't know, 6 months ago. I can't remember where I saw them. I think I saw them on TV during like a big event, like some sports event or something. They were trying to get like all eyes on this, and they had some celebrity in the commercial, and the whole thing was. It's not Xbox Game Pass, it's PC Game Pass, or how they were just calling it. They were rebranding, basically, calling it something else.
Yeah.
And it still didn't make any goddamn sense. I was playing with my HOTS friends, and they're trying to talk me into playing Grounded. I was like, yeah, maybe I'll check it out. I don't know. I guess, I got Game Pass. And they're like, Game Pass? Like, they're like, oh, no, we're playing on PC. I'm like, yeah, dude, Game Pass on PC.
whoa, recently?
Yeah, recently. And I'm like,
Wow.
dude, this is the problem. Nobody knows about
They're the problem, dude.
Yeah.
And do they know you have a podcast?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
dude, they show up
They just
sometimes
don't like
and-
Bobby enough to watch it.
Well, they're not
They
listening.
might be watching right now. I don't know. But no, I explained to them what it was, and they were having a hard time wrapping their heads
that's
around it. I'm like, no, it's
interesting.
on PC. You get like the first month for $1. Go to this website. You get all these games for free. I mean, not for free, but like included in the subscription.
Yeah.
Grounded is on there. You don't have to buy it on Steam. But that's the problem, dude. Nobody knows about Game Pass on PC. Like, not enough people.
Yeah.
They're not hitting their numbers with that. And
I think I
Hey,
got
Chris,
6
maybe we can help
people.
them out with this. Christian, can you send them a little tweet and be like, "We'll represent them." we'll let the people know
no,
that
we need
a little company.
DLG
what they,
phone.
what they need is
premium-
something. Honestly, they just need to, like, first of all, redo their UI, just copy
Oh,
Steam,
dude.
make it look like that. There you go, problem solved. And then they just need to like clean up the way that they're marketing this. It's just like I don't know what they need to do, but they need to make it simpler because it's not. I don't know. It's not easy to understand, and like not a lot of people know about this, and a lot of people think that it's. They just need to say like, look, dude, here's the name of the thing, and here's what you get. Here's all the things, and they just need to like promote that because people still think that it's only available on the Xbox, and they don't know what all is included in it.
But you think the name Xbox Game Pass for PC is confusing?
Yeah, that's exactly what because they want you to
Yeah.
download the Xbox app on PC.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so strange. But Bobby, I'm gonna send that monologue to that. I'll just like maybe make you a resume, send that monologue as the cover letter, and then we'll see. We'll see if we can get you up there making those changes.
Dude,
All right,
you're
now
on
You tell
Game-
Phil Spencer.
I'm on Game Pass and I'm like just scrolling sometimes. I don't do it often, but I'll be like, I wonder what this game is. And you click it and there's like 4 still pictures of and like 2 sentences about what it is. And I'm like, I've got no idea what this is. Let me go to Steam and get some goddamn information. What is wrong with them?
It's a mess, dude. It's worse than the Epic Game Store.
At the very least, dude, put it in the control of the game developer. They want to make money too. They get money for every download. Let them handle their own page on Game Pass. You know, don't do it yourself. I think that's obviously there's some guy named Chuck that does every one, and he's tired of it
It's fucking terrible.
They're like 2 sentences on each game with 4 pictures that look came from the back of a video game box. I hate it.
Brad's writing every fucking summary for every game. Hates his life.
It's a mess, but it
Slacking
still
it
is the
over.
best deal out there. I mean,
It
you
is the
can't
best
beat
deal
it.
out there.
Yeah.
I've been singing their laurels since it started, man.
And like I said, right now it's awesome because High on Life and Warhammer Darktide are phenomenal games that are on Game Pass right now. That would be full price games on Steam that you pay what $3 for the month
$60
to play.
games.
Like
And new releases
yeah,
too.
two
That's the
$60
thing.
games.
Like they get these new releases
Yeah.
that are right on Game Pass the day they come out. That's insane.
A Plague Tale. What else is on there? Grounded. I mean, there's a bunch.
Psychonauts, Chivalry, a bunch of other shit. Halo.
I
Yeah.
think all the
There's so many.
Borderlands.
Yeah, there's so many games on there. I think it's 438 games that are on there now.
Yeah. They cycle in and out, but it doesn't matter. Even if you play it for a while and then you decide to have to buy it on Steam. Okay. Like you liked it, like you just had a super long demo. Fucking
By the
buy it
time
on
you play it
Steam.
on Steam, it'll probably be sale on there.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yep, absolutely.
Facts.
All right, what's everybody playing next week?
High on Life.
All right.
I will be out of town and away from gaming, so probably just my Switch. Probably, and that'll be very minimal.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, me too. I'm gonna be gone from Thursday on, so maybe some game. I gotta get some stuff on my. I've been playing so much fucking Soulstone
Zelda
Survivors
game on your Steam Deck.
Yeah, I'm gonna play that zombie game on there. What the fuck is that called?
Zelda.
No.
The
Tunic. That's a good one. Oh, but I'm playing
Yeah,
that on
Tunic.
Game Pass, and I still don't have Game Pass on my Steam Deck. It can be
It's just
done. I just don't have
Yeah, it's an add-on. I see it all the time in a couple subreddits. Yeah.
I'm going to be playing Deep Rock Galactic and I don't know, something else.
I'm gonna finish High on Life, and then I've got a few little things that, like, what I put on my radar to test out and try. Like, I don't know, the last one that I was just talking about, the one where if you die, everything changes.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Anglerfish.
Yes, Anglerfish. That's the one I was thinking about. It's like, I know it was named after an animal, but yeah, I want to try those.
Days, are you just like in full like vacation mode right now? Just totally, you have no responsibilities day to day?
Kinda. I'm like trying to do my rounds and see every single person, like friend and family, and so it's kind of busy. Like I drove 5 hours around today, like around Michigan, seeing different family members, and so like on one hand, yes, like all day tomorrow I'm gonna game, but then I'm driving to Wisconsin the next day, so like I don't know, it's hit and miss. Some days it's like I got nothing but video games, and then another few days it's like I'm busy.
Are you driving in snow right now?
Yeah, yep, sure am. Yep. I was just saying earlier that I felt like I was driving in Gran Turismo or like Forza or something because I hit a patch of huge winter wonderland in this one like back road area, and as I'm like turning, the car is just sliding on ice, and I'm just like, all right, well, here we are. So,
Jesus, take the wheel.
a little bit. The trick is like not to lay on the gas so much, and like you kind of want to feather the brakes a little bit, but you want to only make small minor adjustments because if you turn your wheel too quickly, you will fuck up, and then you're gonna yeet yourself right into a ditch.
You just saved someone's life. You just saved one of our listeners'
Yeah.
lives. You know.
Days,
I
Someone
also
out
would
there.
recommend having kitty litter in your car because if your car's traction can't catch on the ice, you can put some kitty litter on it and it'll help it move forward. So
The
there you go.
cheaper the
Another
better,
pro
by
tip.
the way.
And always
That's
have that
facts.
emergency kit, emergency blankets, and emergency fire starter in the back.
I feel like I'm listening
never
to
know
Bear
when you might
Grylls
get
over
run-
here.
Just get road flares.
She's a survival
Yeah.
expert, man. It's
Well, that's
incredible.
why I had to come back to Michigan, dude. I spent too much time in a state that didn't know how to use their windshield wipers.
I was getting soft in your pussy ass state.
Absolutely.
I had to fight off a bear with a ketchup packet from Burger King and napkins from
missed-
Taco Bell.
Yeah, it missed it, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's too rainy. I can't drive." So-
Dude, right now in Georgia, it's so cold and like it's the shopping season. Everybody's getting in accidents around like every fucking store. I'm just like, I just want to go sell some more Hammer models. I don't
yeah.
I just
What's
I don't want to
also-
get killed.
What's also kind of crazy too is sometimes when the snow is like compact and thick enough, if it's like the kind of snow that would be perfect to throw snowballs and build an igloo and like it's that compact, sometimes it can get in between your tire, right? And so then you almost don't have traction anymore because the snow is now stuck in between the ridges. So like you're just, spinning wheels and shit. And so it's a whole nother, it's expert mode for sure in driving.
Well, I'll throw in some video game logic for it. Recycled says, learn from SnowRunner. If you have a wench and drive near trees, you're golden. Winch, he means. If you have a winch. Just
Nah,
mention-
get yourself
Not
a wench. You need a beer wench.
The wench
Yeah.
doesn't.
This is my wench Olga. She lifts my car out of the fucking snow.
the wench
And
is
she gives me a beer for the hard work we just did.
It was all her.
all right, guys. So speaking for Nick, Christian, Amanda, and Bobby, snowy titties. It's a winter wonderland, people. Bye bye.
Snow tits.
Snow tits. They're frosty.
I'm gonna need to make a snow woman with big tits.
There you go.
Absolute genius. No one's ever done it in the history of mankind.